I had a seminary professor named Tex Sample who's an ethicist, and he told us one time that there are occasions when you need to preach with your bags packed so that you're ready to be run out on a rail. But he also said that doesn't have to be every week. You pick your battles. There are times in the church when social justice issues or issues in society that are going on, or even within a particular congregation, have to be addressed from the pulpit. But it has to be done with sensitivity, it has to be done with integrity, and with an authenticity of being able to claim, I've listened to you, we've been in dialogue about this together, and here's where I want to share today, where I see us going, or where the church has made a decision, and we need to deal with the decision that the church has made. It's not always easy to step in the pulpit. If it is, you shouldn't be there, because it's a daunting task to speak for God, to speak with God. And when there are challenges in the church, challenges in society that pastors need to engage in, I encourage them to do that, to pray about it, to research, to visit and be in conversation with those persons in their church who are a part of the decision-making process or are a part of a dialogue ongoing about that particular issue, and to really educate themselves about where that particular congregation stands. A student who just might have moved into an area where there is fracking going on in the oil industry is not going to stand up their first week in the pulpit and decry the abuses of the oil industry and fracking, because for all she or he knows, half of the people in that congregational space work for that oil company. One of the things that is absolutely essential in preaching is context, knowing your congregation and knowing what's going on around you. And when you do that, it gives you credibility to stand up and preach about something that's controversial, to learn about the people, to learn about the issues that are important to them, to learn about the conflicts that are going on in their community, to become educated about that and then speak. And so that's the advice I give my students, to preach with your bags packed when you have to, but don't pack them every week. One of the things that I think is important, if you're in a context where the congregation really is split on an issue and the church has not made a statement regarding that particular issue and you're even struggling with that particular issue, I think it's okay to say these are some of the issues on one side and these are some of the issues on the other side, and God is still speaking on this. We're not sure what God's plan is for this particular locale, but let's be prayerful about it. Let's continue to talk about it. And then there are other moments when you've got to speak. I remember after Katrina hit, I went to church on a Wednesday night with some friends of mine to a revival that was occurring, and walked in anticipating that Katrina would be addressed, that there would be some sort of conversation about it. And the pastor never said a word. It didn't get lifted in prayer. It didn't get lifted in any manner whatsoever. And after several major events in our history, that has been true in churches. After 9/11, there were lots of churches who didn't say anything besides maybe mentioning it in their prayer time, because there's this overcautiousness about stepping on toes sometimes. They didn't want to jump too quickly. The thing about Katrina, I asked the pastor later, for him, was that he didn't want to address the poverty and race issue that was the big 600-pound gorilla in the room around the issue of Katrina. So he chose not to say anything. And sometimes that does much more damage than taking a risk and saying things for God.